Coffee Pot Conversations.
Bonjour et bienvenue to Coffee Pot Conversations, the podcast that gives you something a little bit different of Paris. My name is Paul, and I'm here to help you experience the city like a visitor, not a tourist. So, grab yourself a coffee, settle in, let's discover Paris together.
Coming up on Coffee Pot Conversations.
Hello and welcome to Coffee Pot Conversations, episode 3.2. I'm continuing my journey to find a hotel, stay and spend an overnight trip in Paris back in November 2024, or 2024 as most people would probably call it using English. So this episode sees me finishing off at Louisette, a little brasserie in the 10th arrondissement. I then make my way through République, sort of pointing towards Bastille, and then cut just at the corner of Rue de la Roquette, which is the street where I'm staying. At the top of that road is the entrance to Père Lachaise Cemetery. More on that later on in the season. So, just reverting back to my regular format, it is now time for the news. And what's been happening in Paris, just outside Paris in fact, is that there was a giant anti-flooding device built upstream. It's in an area called Seine-et-Marne, and that's just east of Paris. Now, looking at the council's website, it looks a really beautiful place, and the council website actually looks gorgeous. But this device, it's sort of there to help protect the towns on the banks of the Seine from flooding when it does all kick off, but mainly obviously the French capital. It's vulnerable to major flooding, which they say is down to global warming, if global warming was around in 1910. However, in the case of floods like the 2016 and 2018s that were significant, it did cause considerable damage, but the structure they've just opened, despite it being contested by local residents, it would have worked and reduced the damage quite considerably. And that's that. So, that's in Paris, which tops the world's top tourist destination. Well, France. It attracted over 100 million visitors last year. Spain is in second place with just 2 million visitors behind it. Now, I don't know how these figures are got, but this is reported by France 24. Now, we had the Olympics last year. Myself and Evan, the boys, were 4 of those 100 million visitors, so I'm quite proud of being part of that. But also, this year, a few other people attended Paris on holiday, and that was Paris. Tyson Fury and his wife Paris took the family to Paris, and that was on the 22nd of January, which this year was a Wednesday. So what they have done is they just took the family to Paris. Tyson Fury, heavyweight boxer, allegedly, he retired following his second defeat to Alexander Usyk. There we go. I actually saw Alexander Usyk fighting on TV with Rory a few weeks back, just before this fight that he lost, that Fury lost. And it was on one of these strange sporting channels where you get all the really old playbacks and stuff. But it was nice to watch. I sometimes watch old football matches as well, just to help pass the time of day, I guess. Although I am now watching Modern Family on Disney Plus, so that's quite nice. Okay, so just changing the way that the world works. I did report during the sort of news section in episode 3.1 that Notre Dame has reopened, and just to reconfirm or reaffirm or just acknowledge and bring to your attention the first time, I don't know, I forget where I get up to, it is free. It was all to do with this law that was passed many years back when it was to do with the separation of church and state and the fundamental mission of the churches, which is to welcome every man and woman unconditionally and therefore necessarily free of charge, regardless of their religion or belief, opinions or financial means. So that means that pilgrims and visitors have never been separated. Ergo, everyone gets in free. Now, whether Notre Dame wish to run special sections, exhibitions, corners bits off and then charge to go see. That's down to them. It needs money at the end of the day, and they can really do what they want. But they have allowed it to be free. You walk through the doors, you don't pay. Leave a donation by all means. Everyone's happy with those. I wish to mention 10 years ago, on the 7th of January, there were the horrendous attacks regarding the Charlie Hebdo office, and sort of riding off the back of that, I also wish to mention that on the 7th of January 2025, so 10 years later, Jean-Marie Le Pen, the far-right French politician who founded the Front National and led it for almost 40 years, died at the age of 96. He was succeeded as leader of the Nationalist Party in 2011 by his daughter, and 4 years later she expelled him for being too extreme. And she then rebranded the party as a Rassemblement National. And that's pretty much where I'm up to with the news, except to say that I am still heading to Paris. That's going to be at the end of February, so I will be attempting to do similar to what I'm doing, what I've done, what you'll be seeing. I'd like to make it, I can't give too much away as to what I'd like to do, because you don't know what I have done, but I will be doing things, so that's quite exciting. In the meantime, let me hand you over to Rory, who will continue to do what he does, and that's sing us the introduction.
Coffee Pot Conversations.
Right, back to work, clean plate. It's my policy. Look for a hotel. For me, formidable. Great podcasting. Right, let's have a look. Checking the map. Third Bastille. Now don't panic, this is just the first of 5 moments that I've sped up throughout the episode where I'm doing very little and it doesn't make great podcasting viewing or listening. This one might be better. Chez me à Paris. Where else we got? They've got Père Lachaise. Oh, that's very much out by the 20th, isn't it? Let's have a look at the address. It's still the 11th. I was looking at arrondissements that I hadn't stayed in before. The Sans-Culottes were a political group during the French Revolution who need more than 10 seconds to explain who they are and what they did. Rue de la Roquette, 11th. Private bathroom and a shower. Okay, deep breath because I'm going to do it now. So the Sans-Culottes, as I say, were a political group during the French Revolution. They wanted social economic equality, popular democracy, price controls, fixed wages, economic legislation and revolutionary justice, as well as supporting small businesses. They were based in the working class areas of Paris and were made up of a wide range of artisans from masters to journeymen. Their name literally means without breeches, which indicates their commitment to wearing trousers. The Sans-Culottes were most influential from the overthrow of the monarchy in 1792 until the Thermidorian reaction in 1794. They were a powerful force in Paris and politicians needed their support. They eventually helped put the Jacobins into office in 1793, but the Jacobins later abandoned and repressed them. Apparently, King Louis XVI declared, "Gentlemen, I am innocent of everything of which I am accused." This was just before the blade fell upon him. He then said, "I hope that my blood may cement the good fortune of the French." Kind of worked. Book and pay. Yes, I know I very, very quickly did cover the French Revolution, and it's a huge, remarkable feat of time, as well as obviously King Louis XVI and all those that went before him. Stay tuned, there will be more later on in the upcoming seasons of Coffee Pot Conversations. There we go, hotel booked. And I'm still looking at getting a cup and saucer set from Café Richard. You are the one for me. C'est bon, merci.
Vous avez besoin de quelque chose d'autre? Need something else?
No, all good, thank you. Thanks. Whew. Right, it's 11:30, 10:30. As we know from last episode 3.1, I have been up for quite a while at this stage, and I'm unsure whether I'm hungry, tired, thirsty, worn out, excited, anxious, or just wanting to waste a bit of time. So I'm now fiddling with the camera for those of you that aren't watching the video, and for those of you that are watching the video, you will now see that I am panning through Lucette, just because it feels like the right thing to do. And it's still not very exciting, but I'm bringing the camera back round. I'm still working out how to use it at this stage because it is fairly new for me. Today's star of the show. And you can see it's still new. Face track. One of the most used features of this camera for me on this trip. Face track. Time to write. And now it's time for me to write. And I'll just stick a little clip in here. You can probably hear, hopefully, the song in the background. This was playing, and I thought I'd make a film of it because of Jasper and episode 2.10, The Best Bits. A little brief moment of almost artistic filming. I was checking out the camera and doing some arty types of shots. This is just around the gate. And for those of you not watching the video, no, I didn't take a photo of the bus. That was me having uploaded a photo of the gate that I'd taken previously. So I'm now on a long stretch of walk, which isn't particularly exciting, but it does give the viewers a glimpse of what not central Paris looks like. Yes, whilst we're in Paris, it's still condensed. I always compare it to London. London, you can go from one part to the other and you will need a form of public transport, whereas with Paris you can still walk around it. But when you start hitting the suburbs, yes, I understand it does become a little bit different, that you do need to go further afield with the different public transport there. But Paris is a lot more condensed, I have found. For those of you listening, there's a couple of people just taping some stuff up as I've just walked up a flight of stairs. So I'm walking down this wide road. I don't know if I would call it a boulevard. It may be a boulevard. And you can hear the sirens. It's still very quiet. Yes, it's end of November and it's cold. And it's still sort of early. It's before lunchtime. And it's not a very exciting view. So I may just end up speeding through this next section to get to some more talkie. Okay, so I've reduced this 55-second clip down to just over 30 seconds. I could talk to you about the French Revolution, but again, there's a lot to fill in and not much time to have. So what I am going to say is a bit of a tip for those of you heading to Paris any time of the year. Wear comfortable shoes and socks. I know it may not be fashion, but if you're going to explore, you will hopefully be doing a lot of walking. And that was just a Dirty Dancing poster. Okay, so I have been watered, I've been fed. I think it's French toast, not really sure. It's like a soggy, syruped brioche with fruit on top, mixed berries, and some salted caramel, and a big chunk of chantilly cream. It was absolute gorgeous, not going to lie, because there's no point. It was really nice. And I had a café crème, which was a little bit weird as well, because, well, I normally do a latte, but it was sort of like a latte, but just in a, well, Café Richard cup. So thank you to them. Now I'm just making my way through to a hotel that I have booked. I'm much more confident talking outdoors than I am in a very quiet brasserie. It was called Lucette. Very nice. It was very nice. I may try and get back there tomorrow. We'll know afterwards whether I do or not. In the meantime, I'm just walking and talking. So, exciting times ahead. Gonna need to recharge soon. Come up to a McDonald's, not that that's anything to do with it. Oh my days, I've just seen something that I do remember taking a photo of years ago. Just check into here. That orange shop. Oh no, that's just done that wrong bit. Here we go. That one there. Now there is a, I wouldn't say a famous photo, it's not particularly famous, but it is a famous-ish photo. No, that's the wrong button. There we go, back in the game. Oh, this is going to make a great first episode. Yes. Okay, second episode. And still learning the camera. So here we are at République, and I know it's République because just here it says République Metro. Now I'm walking from the 3rd, I believe, to the 11th, and it take a right hand fork at the McDonald's, which I haven't seen. Over there is a Burger King. Really don't know how much of a zoom this has got, how much I should be zooming in, but we'll leave it alone. Now it's normally actually along here that I do get lost quite often. Too often for my own good, but by virtue of the fact I keep getting lost here means that I'm here, so that's nice. We've got a flashy blue, but that car's not moving. Oh dear, doing. Now the funny thing is, I've been watching Paris Has Fallen. I've got one episode left. I was going to watch it last night, but got to about 9:30. It's like, nope, don't want to do that. So I didn't. So instead, I think I went to sleep. Huzzah! Sleepy good times. So I think I normally walk up from that direction because I normally see this here. I'm zooming in rather than running that fast, just to let you know. Here we go, how about that? Boop. That's beautiful, isn't it? So maybe a little bit of luck. We can make it through the night and find McDonald's, but I have to turn right. Now over there, which you really can't, oh, wrong button. Hey, I'm learning. So over there, which you can't see, is Wall Street English, and you see them advertising a lot on the metro. So that's them. Boom. Boop, boop. So still in Republic. I'm guessing this is Place de Republique. I don't know. But it's all good. Hoppa. Mr. Skateboard. Oh dear. Not to worry, we can have another go. So I'm going to head down this turning here, even though we have a few over there, and then over there. I've passed a few, and take this one here, on the right. And let's see how we go.
Rouge, piéton, place de la République jusqu'à l'îlot. Rouge,
And for those of you listening out there rather than watching, don't worry. I'm just crossing the street using the old red man, green man, not Squid Games reference, but that's pretty much what that noise was. And now the scene has changed, and I've just had a jogger run past me. Still a beautiful day out there though, sun shining, nice and warm. So we're walking from Republique to, can't see it now, we was down there, Bastille, probably. It's a beautiful day. So when you're walking down around Paris and you've got all these beautiful buildings. Here we go, connecting me mic. You get these beautiful buildings. Once in a while you get something a little like this. It's a sort of 4-storey building, almost like treble fronted. It's got stripes and diamonds on it. It's a weird looking place. Very much contrasted with everything else that we're seeing at the minute. Also get a little bit of these, which I'm going to try and zoom in for you. There you go, a little bit of street art on the walls. And then you even get, and that's not an actual Space Invader, but that there, that's a Space Invader. But it's not an actual Space Invader because it's a bottle of beer. So just bring the zoom back to regular level. Crossing the street because I feel it's the right thing to do. Yeah, Benjamin Button there. Benjamin Button. Also sound like tailors. They're actually tea merchants established in 1919. Still didn't check that I'm going the right way. Doesn't feel Christmassy, but I know you're going to be watching this after Christmas because this has been recorded at the end of November. 1 or 2 places have got Christmas decorations up. Not many though, which is good. Now, sort of that whole secularisation side of things. You know, we don't promote other religions, but they do Christmas. They do decorations, they do the lights, the window displays, Christmas tree in Gare Lafayette. That's probably the big Instagram one, that one. You don't want to see my face for the minute, so let's bring it back to the street. A beautiful little video clip of a beautiful Parisian boulevard on a beautiful sunny November in 2024. It's a Thursday. Well, just had notification from the hotel. I can arrive at 2 o'clock. It's now 1:45. Do a 25-minute walk, so that's not so bad. Be even better if I go the right way. Just take a little chunky down here, and we'll just see what this is telling us. I did take a bit of a whoopsie boo boos earlier. Not sure which way I was meant to have gone, but I didn't. Yeah, plenty of contextual colloquialisms there for you. Whee. So I'm just going to walk through here. This bit reminds me of. Let's look around. This bit reminds me of around by Marylebone. I went with Nev the other night, and when I walked for hitting South Bank and ending up between the bridges in Waterloo. But it's around here, Marylebone, and we debated whether to go for dinner, but we didn't. Right, I now need to turn left onto Rue Pellet, which is somewhere. Like this here. And because of the height of the buildings, the noise is cut down. Now cutting through an alleyway. And derrière. Don't get that in London. I just let a lady go before me through the barriers. What a quaint little street this is. Again, you'll see lots of dogs. Generally little dogs and medium-sized dogs. With a little bonjour. At some point, oh dear, I'm going to need to turn right, I think. But so, Paris isn't all about big boutiques and luxurious hotels. It's about the residentials. Now, in the mid-1800s, Georges Eugène Haussmann was tasked by Napoleon III to pretty much renovate Paris. It was dirty, dingy slums and not particularly nice. They were after wide boulevards. Napoleon III had come back from London. Obviously, he liked what he'd seen. And together they changed the face of Paris. Do a shonky. Then a turn right. We're just watching my shoulder to the left, and we're going to have the man with his dog from earlier on. However, in the 1860s, Paris wasn't as big as it is now. They brought a lot of the villages that were outside, obviously places like Bellevue, Montmartre, up in the northeast and north, became parts of Paris, but they retained their village feel. Again, look, that's gorgeous, that is actually. Nice blues in the sky. November. I've just come from the side this morning. Ooh. Now, if I remember what the map said, it was, I think, a right and a left. Little side step. Don't remember. I've got an hour. Just going to view. When we get there, if you just look at the bottom, you see like a tower block or a residential housing. And then just to the other side of that, to the left, there's a Haussmannian style residence. Now, as well as doing all the new Haussmannian style buildings, there was a lot of controversy over Haussmann, but what he did do was he made a couple of big parks, big forests, and just through the trees which you can't see, a lot of greenery. I believe it was 127 parks. So not every road is busy. And I've really no idea what this bridge is. Look, it's a little working out gym in the park. Marvellous. So again, just along here, I'm probably still going the wrong way. And the sun's in the way. So the buildings on the far side, Haussmannian style. Look at that down the bottom. Look at that, it's gorgeous, isn't it? Unexpected. Merci. De rien. I think he was English. Now, the Jardin Troyot was designed in 2018, and it creates a shortcut between Boulevard Richard Lenoir and Boulevard Voltaire. They do have lots of these little pockets of greenery, which I think are amazing. Yeah, we sort of have the little parks and parklets, but it's not the same. But that's probably because we've got the bigger parks. I know they've got the big parks, the Jardin, they've got the Bois on the outskirts. But I don't know, it's just look, little places to sit and eat. There could well be a school in there. Might have made that bit up. Looks like a school. Don't know. Some of this architecture is beautiful though. Look at these. Look. Leave a little seat for people. See that, look. That's water. Not quite a Wallace fountain, but yeah. Ooh, pardon. Derrière. Possibly après vue to the man with the dog. Derrière, mademoiselle. I'm so polite. I should be a Londoner. Hey. I'm going to go check my map in a minute, see where I am. I'm going to do a couple of these shoots first. So this is the entrance to the Square des Moines de Tibérine, which is strange because it's called a square, not a plus. Now, I'm not sure what that is. But anyway, it's at the foot of the Saint-Ambroise Church, which you can see now if you're looking. And since 2015, the square gave its name to the 7 Trappist monks of the Tibérine Monastery murdered in Algeria on May 21st, 1996. The church was built by Theodore Ballou from 1865 to 1869 on the site of the former convent, an order founded by Joan of Arc. And that chapel was originally built in 1659. During the Commune in 1871, so as not to prevent worship, the church was the headquarters of the Ambroise Club, known as the Proletarians Club, which included feminist speakers. Now, this club published the newspaper Le Proletaire. And yes, the video was slowed down just to fit this voiceover. So people when they think of Paris, they do think about, Champs-Élysées and Boulevard Haussmann and all the posh shops and stuff. But it's not always that way, depending on the route that you take. Just sort of a regular style. These ones always feel a bit of a letdown. Nice wide avenues, which is lovely to walk through. But there's always just something a little dank, if that's the right word. But it's all part of Paris, it's what I like. Normally when I'm not carrying 50,000 bags with me, I'm trying to not look like I'm a lunatic talking to myself. But there we go. So not really sure where I am at the minute, and that's a nice change for me. Yeah, look, beautiful example there. Parisian architecture. Look at that. And that's the police. So I'll I don't know how they feel about being filmed. Probably not a positive reception. So I think I had to do something a bit different here. I just don't remember what. Though I do recognise this place. Oh look, for those of you that were listening to episode 2.9, and I said I couldn't remember the name of the supermarket that we popped into, I have eaten the crisps. Let's see what we've got going on here. It is, well, that's a really funky thing going on there. It is Auchan. Oop. Oop. And that, ladies and gentlemen, that's the difference between up and down and in and out. That's what she said. So, sure it's around here somewhere. Bike, taxi, avoiding them all, crossing when I want. No one saw that, that's good. Bit of Christmas tree man. Fruit and veg. Something you don't often see in Paris, especially if Anne gets her way. Boom, motor school, driving instructor, Automoto École, Lyon Blum. Oh, hold on, but he's stopping. Obviously he's learned his lesson, don't need a Londoner. Whee! Right, so There's McDonald's over there. Zooming. There's the bus. And zooming out. Bamboo.
Coffee Pot Conversations.
So that was episode 3.2, and I've still not made it to the hotel yet. Just to let you know, though, there will be more than 10 episodes this season. I have already worked out the breaks. I know this episode's gone a little bit longer than the last one. It's sort of it was a natural break. Now, I may adjust it, but at the moment I'm running into 12 episodes. Some are longer than others. The last one, which in theory should be the best bits, I don't know if I'm doing the best bits. It's about a half hour, just that conversation section, that middle part. So I don't know what I'm doing with that yet, but I've got plenty of months to worry about that. I don't even know how I'm going to fit it in, which is a problem, because I meant to give myself a break. Who knows what's going to happen with this trip in February. I seem to be not ahead of where I wanted to be, but ahead of where I should be. I've done a lot of background work, so I now know what I'm doing. I can make things go a bit quicker in the editing process, the post-production. Anyway, this is the stage where I will be saying happy birthday to, well, on this occasion, to me. It was my birthday on the 21st of January. Huzzah! And I will also be giving shout-outs. So this is a shout-out to a new friend of mine. I've known him for 7-8 months now. He's called Rahi. I actually work with him. And whilst, for those of you listening from the beginning, you will know Frankie, who was a friend of the show. She baked Never Cake for her birthday back in December. Rahi is season 3's friend of the show. So thank you, Rahi. You're amazing. You've already got so many more people listening and following me on Instagram at An Englishman in Paris blog. So thank you, Rahi. Anyway, that's that. And now it's time for Jasper's jingle.
Coming up on Coffee Pot Conversations.
So what's coming up? Well, episode 3.3, do I make it to the hotel? You'll have to wait and see. The answer's yes. What else? Well, it's just the remainder of the overnight trip to Paris in November of 2024. If you want a birthday mentioned, be it yours or someone else's, you can email me in birthday@anenglishmaninparis.blog, because this is Coffee Pot Conversations hosted by an Englishman in Paris. Or you can ask for a shout out, and the birthdays and the shout outs will be in the previous section, the conclusions, and that will be an email to shoutout@anenglishmaninparis.blog. I'm still doing the podcasts on Spotify, so if you want to find those at spotify.anenglishmaninparis.blog, that will take you through to something. And if you want to get involved in my YouTube channel, which is sort of where my next project is heading towards, that's going to be youtube.com/@coffeepotconversations. Or that's probably also youtube.anenglishmaninparis.blog. You can check my blog, anenglishmaninparis.blog, but I'll probably mention that in the call to action section, which is coming up now.
Coffee Pot Conversations.
Thanks for tuning into Coffee Pot Conversations today. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the episode. Also, if you have a story from a past trip, a question about your next one, or something you'd just love to share, send an email to podcast@anenglishmaninparis.blog, or message me on Instagram @anenglishmaninparisblog, where you can follow me. Until next time, keep the coffee hot, the pot warm, and the conversation cool.
Coffee Pot Conversations.